Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, ladies. So I have already gone in with my primer. We'll let that sit for just a minute. I needed to make some more pre-recorded videos for YouTube, and they sometimes go a little quicker too. So we're going to do a look today on palette 3, kind of in between subtle and bold, somewhere in the middle, kind of like a smoky eye, but a different way to make a smoky eye. And then for anyone watching this, please give me a comment below and you'll be entered to win the eye palette, the quad with one color of your choice. And if you'd be willing to share this content to your page, you'll be entered to win a free foundation. So that's what I have to start. Also, I am doing a big flash sale on Tuesday, so there's still plenty of time to get in on that sale. So give me just kind of a hashtag sale below if you'd like to be included in that. So let's get started. Like I said, we're going to be using Addiction Palette 3 today. I love this palette. It's the pinks, kind of a brown, and then the purples, and we are going to be staying with these 3 colors down here today. And let's go. I am going to stay with the same foundation I've used for the last couple days because I am loving the coverage and I'm loving the feel of it. And so that is a mixture of BB Flawless and the Liquid Touch, and I'm going to put that on my powder concealer brush. So let's go. Okay, so I use the color Bisque and Organza. What this gives me, it gives me more moisture than the Liquid Touch alone. It actually lightens the coverage of the Liquid Touch. So if I wanted more coverage at this point, I would go back in with another dose, maybe even change the portions. I actually did pretty heavy on the BB cream today because I'm going to set it with pressed powder. But I am above a BB Flawless alone, but you can still see rosy, you can still see my freckles. So I am barely above a light coverage, but it's kind of the best of both worlds, and I am loving this combo. This brush applies it beautifully. So while this moisturizes and kind of set in, I'm gonna go do my eyes. And I'm going to do my eyebrows in medium and dark. Okay, so that was the eyebrow pencils in medium and dark, and every time I spoolie my hair out, I soften it right in my bold spot. Okay, medium and dark. So basically with any foundation you use, you want to mattify your eyelids before you get started, or use a really, really light, one of the pressed powders as far as your eyeshadows to mattify your whole lid. I just find it easier to go in with my highlight color and do it. Now, if you were doing a pressed powder foundation face only, you could probably skip this step. but all the rest of them have enough moisture in it that depending on what type of eyelids you have and what skin you have, you may find some creasing in your eyeshadows, some clumping if you do not take that moisture out of your eyelids first. So it's always really important to mattify your eyelids. Good tip. And whether you do it with a pressed powder or even an eyeshadow that you put all over your lid, you're going to want to do that. So the very first color I'm going to go in with, I'm going to stay down here today with these three colors. And so the first one I'm going to go in with is this Determined. And once again, this is palette 3. And I'm just going to take my fluffy crease brush, make sure I don't have any other products on it. And you just kind of stipple it in, swirl so the pigment blends. And this one's my transition color. I'm going to do transition as well as all over lower lid. Okay, let me get this side just a little bit darker. And the thing about this is my transition here is I want to make sure that when my eyes are open, I can still see a little bit of this transition, okay? So if you're doing your makeup like this and then you open your eyes and it's totally gone, you want to make sure that you still have a little bit of your transition poking out. Yesterday I made a Smokey Eye live, and there's multiple different ways you can make a smoky eye. This is going to be a little subtler of a smoky eye, but it's still kind of the same concept. And so I really want to make this transition shade poking out of the top of the rest of the colors I apply. Okay, so that was the Determined. Now I'm going to go in with my same fluffy crease brush and I'm going to grab this lighter pink, this Tickled, and I'm going to put it in my crease just the same, but I'm going to stay a little tighter and lower so that it does not take over my transition shade. Okay, and then I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to stay on the top of that and just make sure it is soft up top. And then last I'm going to grab my deluxe brush, which I will be using one other brush, but pretty much these three brushes, blending brush, fluffy crease brush, and the deluxe brush, you need to have. I'm going to be going in with this last color here, this ecstatic right here, and I'm just going to be pressing it in and placing it on my lower lid. It has a little shimmer, it is a darker brown, and I'm going to keep that right here on my lower lid. Okay, so we're gonna stop there because I do want to smoke it out and pull it under my eyes just a little bit. But we are gonna stop right there till I finish the rest of my face. And get a little idea how dark I am or how light I am. Okay, so I'm going to lightly set the rest of my face in 2 colors. I am going to use the color Organza as a highlight and Camlet around the rest of my face. Okay, so I have built my coverage up to probably a little over medium. And this is always where I like to build up the most coverage. It just helps with my fine lines and it brightens and lightens the under eye, especially once I start doing my contour, which we're going to do today in the color, sorry, that was loud, in the color Sunset and my tapered blusher brush. Now I'm going to move on to my blush and I'm going to use the color Stunning. It's the deeper, kind of a hot pink, but it is still a matte, I was making sure. And so because it is this deep, I'm just going to use a light application, but it's still so pretty. It's just a richer pink. Color Stunning, and I will just blend those 2 together. I am going to use some luminizer, yes I am, in the color Lustrous, just putting right on top of that blush and my bronzer. That was the color Lustrous. Okay. And that actually brings us to where our eyes look softer than they did before, but we do still have a pretty smoky eye, which I love. So I don't think I'm going to build that up anymore. Just gonna bring it down here and soften where my pressed powder's highlighted. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brow artistry brush. I love it for how thin this is. This is a perfect brush to do the under eye. And I'm actually going to combine Determined and Tickled. I'm going to combine those colors. And I'm going to just smoke it under my eye. I'm going to keep them dark. To just kind of smoke the under eye. And I don't necessarily want to go necessarily brown or necessarily pink, that's why I'm mixing them. And as you can see, pink is such, pinks and browns, especially together, they are such a pretty combo for brown eyes. Wonderful palette. This and 6 for brown eyes, nummy. think I like how dark the rest of my eye is. I might just right there in the middle. And if you struggle getting really close to your lash line, just use your finger. We get closer, lower to our lash line with our fingers than we do brushes. And I just really wanted that darker right on that lash line. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I've smoked it out by bringing it underneath a little bit. I like that. Okay, so now I am, and that was the Brow Artistry brush. This is the one that is meant to use with the Obsession palette to fill in the brows, but it is a perfect detail brush too. So I think I am going to use the liner in Perfect in my waterline. Whenever I do a smoky look, it kind of completes it. And it doesn't stay. I went to a track meet all morning and then transitioned yesterday into an afternoon of tennis. And it was still there. And my eyes were watering like a fool in that wind. Oh, Montana wind. Okay. Now, as I did yesterday, you always want to make sure the lighter corner of your eyes is lighter when you do any kind of smoky dark eye. But because I kept this over here, it is still light on the inside. So I'm not going to add any more color because I purposely kept the darker color over here when I applied it third rather than first like I did yesterday. Okay. Oh yeah. I am going to do Epic as well as 3D lashes today, just to kind of show you. It's been a while since I've used my 3D, and with my brand new Epic, these things are reaching the roof. So I thought it would be fun to combine them both. When you do 3D, it's gel start, fibers, and you always end with gel. And then I always like to set one more Epic, but I will wait till all those fibers and the gel kind of dry. And between the Perfect and the Epic, yowzer, that is such an open, very vivid eye. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we're gonna finish with, actually let me set this because I always forget to do this on camera. So let me set it. That's our Behold setting spray. I like Rosewater just as well. Rosewater leaves it more dewy. This leaves more of a matte finish, but I have luminizer all over so it keeps my shine. And then when you apply this amply, like I just did, it does still stay kind of glossy, shiny. So I have switched back to using this because between the three of us ladies in this house, we are going through rose water like it's regular water. So I'm like, I need to go back to using this for a little bit. So that's why I've switched back. Not because one's better. Okay. This is one of my ultimate favorite lip looks. And the reason is because, once again, like I said yesterday's live, when I do a bold eye, I like the eye to be the only thing bold on my face, and I kind of transition to a subtle lip. So I'm going to go in with Plush and Stellar. And I'm going to show you how that looks by itself, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. I love this lip liner. This is the color that I like to use when I make kind of a two-tone lip. So that was the color Plush. This is by far one of my favorite standalones. I love Subtle and I love Snarky, and both of those are sold out right now. But this one is probably my next, right there with them, that I absolutely love. Walk out the door standalone lipstick. It finishes in a matte. It's super, it's not drying. It is fantastic. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to ombre it using sparkling. Okay, and this is the color that does come in the presenter's kit, minus using concealer to ombre. This is the color that is most perfect of the splashes for ombre. Well-to-do is the Opulence that's really perfect to ombre. And I'm doing it subtle. I want a subtle ombre. Look at how pretty that is. And instantly when you ombre, your lips look larger. I do have pretty ample lips. I don't have any thin. I like my lips. They're one of my favorites. And so it actually just makes them, hello, but it will make anyone's lips, when you ombre, look a little fuller. So I'm going to go back in over the top of my 3D. Just one more time with the Epic, and this is just gonna grab those fibers so they stay locked all day long. We are having a full day today with church, little man's birthday party. Girl. I got no time for Fallout today. Okay, quick review. So we went in with our Shandaology as well as primer. Kind of my new favorite combination, and every day I'm like, oh, I'm gonna switch it up and do something different. But when I go out and about, I love this look and I love how it feels. So I did a BB cream liquid touch combo, set it with pressed powders, 2 colors, highlight as well as a regular. Then I have Beachfront bronzer in Sunset, Stunning in my blush, and Lustrous as my highlight. Love. This eye is the Pinker Brown 3 of Addiction Palette 3. You could probably call this a Smokey Eye, but I built it up rather than doing dark and smoke out, but I did smoke out my under eye. So it is kind of a smoky eye look that includes these three colors: Determined, Tickled, Ecstatic. So there is some pink in there, but it's kind of more of these pinker browns, okay? And then I did Perfect in my waterlines, Epic, as well as 3D lashes. My brows are medium and dark. Set it all with Behold setting spray. And then this lip is Plush. Let me make sure. Oh, and I love Plush. Plush is probably more, I like pouty, but this Plush is my favorite. So I have Plush, and then I have two colors in Stellar all over my lip and Sparkling to ombre it out. This month's Kudos is these three products for $80, and you can throw another one in or a lip liner in and you're over the $100. Addiction Palette 6 is only available in the Kudos as well as collections. I'm hoping it stays that way for my sale on Tuesday night, because I know you sisters want to get your hands on the Addiction palettes. So if you have not already been included in the party's going to run through Messenger. If you have not already been included, shoot me a message, comment below, give me any sort of connection that says sale, and I will get you included. No obligation to buy. So that's our look today with Addiction Palette 6. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.